So this Snow White movie is shaping up to be an absolute disaster. I mean, from the beginning of when this film was announced, almost with the promotional materials we had last year involving the actress Rachel Zegler, all the way back to then, this thing has just gotten worse and worse and worse. And to the point now where we have the trailer that's released almost a week ago now, and it's been absolutely ratioed. And the current status of that, if you have the dislike ratio set up on your computer, is that it has 68,000 upvotes to 711,000 downvotes. Like, that is huge. You're talking like a 7:1 ratio basically, or more. So it's where everything that's been happening, all the dialogue and like discourse about this film over the past year or so has just been absolutely atrocious. And it's been very much led by the actress Rachel Zegler, who's going to be playing Snow White. She was mouthing off back when they first announced this movie, talking about this is not going to be like the original Snow White. This is a more feminist, a modern day version of it. That one was problematic. This one, our version is better. All of this nonsense. So she was talking all this crap about the film from the get-go, and here we are now. It's getting absolutely destroyed on YouTube, on their dislikes and all of that, and all the discourse around the film is just very, very negative. And even to the point where you're having her, the lead actress, up against Gal Gadot, who's her co-star in the film, who will be playing the evil queen. And there's sort of kind of tension there in that Gal Gadot is Israeli, and you have Rachel Zegler going on about free Palestine. So that's going to create tension too. But I'm not going to dive into all that stuff today. Instead, I want to talk about the kind of greater ramifications of this and talk about how political correctness has led to one of the stupidest decisions with this film. Like, there's so much we could talk about what's being said in the meta aspect of the films, what the actors and actresses are saying and whatnot. But here I want to talk about something in the trailer, talking about specifically the dwarves. So if you've seen the trailer, the dwarves that they have, they're like magical creatures they're referred to or something like that. They are completely CGI. They're not real actors there playing them. They're just CGI. And they look terrible. They look creepy as, if you ask me. And they're getting a lot of backlash online, and rightly so. But what I wanted to talk about here regarding the political correctness of this is that this is a classic example of how political correctness can negatively affect the groups that it supposedly sets out to defend. And what I want to talk about, what I mean by that, is that they didn't want to employ real dwarves, real people in the roles of the dwarves, because they didn't want them to be viewed as something negative in that role, or like some sort of a joke, because they are somewhat humorous characters who are provide levity and humor, all that stuff. They didn't want to do that. They're saying, well, we don't want to offend anyone or anything like that. And you also had Peter Dinklage of Game of Thrones fame kind of talking about, mouthing off about this film when it was being released, saying, I thought we're beyond all this crap. Why were they employing dwarves? All of that. So there's a lot of criticism about the idea that they would employ actual dwarves for this role. Okay, fine. So what do? They go and CGI them. People who are politically correct-minded, people who are for this crap, do not see what they are doing here. You've literally, if there's already a shortage of potential roles for dwarves or short little people in Hollywood, you are now removing even more of those roles. I mean, talk about a story, Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. A story about dwarves, there's nothing more famous than this, if you ask me. And they're literally denying him that opportunity due to political correctness. So there's actors who could be there in this role. This is a live action Disney Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. And yet they're using CGI. Now, they've done this with all of them, particularly Lion King, which was all CGI, and they call that a live action. But here especially, the opportunity to have live action, real people, dwarves, playing the role is just mind-blowing to me. And it shows you how political correctness goes so far that it becomes full circle to the point where it's now negatively affecting the people that it supposedly sets out to defend. And this is it's a cancer. It's an absolute cancer on society, this level of political correctness and wokeness, identity politics, whatever you want to call it. It's an absolute joke. And so to me, I'm thinking, I want to see films with all sorts of people, all sorts of colors, sizes, genders, all of that. And here they are actively taking that away from a very small minority group. And they're claiming to be the group that to be aware for the minorities in society. And here they are taking employment away from them. So this is ridiculous, if you ask me. This is absolutely ridiculous. And it's just another layer to this film's to the negative discourse surrounding this film. There's so much going on. Like I said, from the actors to now we've seen the trailer, which is getting ratioed. It looks terrible. The film, all of that, everything about the film just has been really bad. And now we just think about this aspect. I wanted to talk about this today to kind of highlight a perfect example of how political correctness can go too far. And political correctness should have no place. Obviously, polite society is fine. People should, we should negotiate our own kind of sensitivities with one another, but not have this kind of broad brush like thing on society where you're basically imposing certain rules like this to the point where it's a detriment to certain groups. And we're seeing it firsthand here with Disney Snow White. You've got these creepy little CGI characters in this film, and when this is meant to be like a kid's film, they should look adorable, cute, sweet, all that, and they just look lifeless, really. So I'm baffled, but at the same time, I'm not surprised because this is current day Hollywood. This is current day Disney. They have gone all the way down this path, and they don't seem to be turning back anytime soon. And this is what we're going to be getting. So I have no interest in seeing this film. Definitely not in cinemas. Maybe I'll check it out one day if it's really bad or something. But man, it's looking like a disaster. And that I just really wanted to highlight this whole aspect with the dwarves. So to talk to you about it today as a late night thought. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think of this whole situation about Snow White and the Seven Dwarves and what they should have done with the dwarf characters in the movie? I want to hear it all. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.